happy Sunday. It is just coming up on the lunch time. I'm heading over to the Besties so we can talk 4-H, because tomorrow night is our first 4-H meeting, and we got to get our plan together, and we also need to go over the bylaws, see what we're going to change and blah blah blah. But the girls have brand new baby bunnies, like brand new. So I will definitely be filming and sharing that with all of you guys. Baby bunnies. I do miss having bunnies at my house. But you know, I've gone to a couple shows with Christina and the girls, and the last one I went to, it was fair, and I was helping run rabbits a little bit, and I was carrying the little itty bitties, you know, 'cause I can't carry anything heavy. And it kind of sparked in me that, oh, maybe I do want to get back into rabbits, and I'll just do a little breed, but I don't know. I'm still kind of on the fence. I mean, obviously it's been 2 months since fair. Because it's more than just, showing rabbits is more than just, you know, picking up the rabbit and holding it. It's a lot of walking during the shows. From where you're sitting to the table, there's a lot of standing while your rabbits are on the table, and 99, my 4-H folder just slid off my seat and is in my floorboard. 99.9% of the time, your shows are taking place inside a building with concrete floors. So you're standing and you're walking on concrete for an entire day. So it's a really big decision for me, because like I said, it's more than just being able to hold something little and not have to worry about the weight limit of it. You know, even carrying them into the showroom, you know, you've got, you know, your carriers are doubles, triples, you know, and so if you've got 3, let's say 2.5 pound rabbits, you know, you're at 2, 4, 6, 7.5 pounds plus the weight of the cage, and I'm on a 10 pound weight limit. So lifting limit, and that's just lifting, that's not carrying. You know, even the slightest bit of weight carrying for too long pulls on my lower back. I'm trying to remember what I was doing the other day, and I was like, oh my gosh. I can't right now, brain's not there, can't remember, but there was something that I was carrying around, and it was just like the tension was building in my lower back, and then started getting the sciatic tingle, and I'm like, you know, and it wasn't something that was super heavy, it was just that I was holding it for a long time. So I don't know, there's a lot to consider when, you know, thinking about getting back into showing rabbits. I mean, I have all the equipment still, so that's not a problem. Just have to I'd have to go in with the weed whackers at this point, to get to them, because, you know, we pulled them all out of the barn and put them, you know, on the ground next to the barn on their sides, while the weeds and the grass and everything has grown over the cages, and they're actually at this point no longer visible. So we'd have to get in there with, you know, some tools and cut them out of the shrubbery. I forgot, I was gonna look and see what what gas company that was back there. I had 34 miles left on my tank. because my truck just beeped at me and reminded me. I wish it had beeped before the gas station and not after. That I need gas. But that will definitely determine whether or not I have to just go to the nearest gas station and not worry about getting the discount through Upside, or if I'm going to be able to get to, it's primarily Circle K's and 7-Elevens that are on the app right now. So whether there's a Circle K or 7-Eleven within my mile range, otherwise I just need to go to the nearest. Which kind of suck, which would definitely suck. Not kind of suck, it would definitely suck, because gas here is almost $5 a gallon. And my truck is empty, which means I'm going to top out at 100 and still not be on full. Which will require me to then also look at my bank account balance, because my disability check is due, but I don't know if it's in yet. Well, I know it's not in yet because I haven't gotten the email from the bank. I'm going to see if it's pending yet, so that'll tell me whether it goes in tomorrow or not. But if that is not in yet, and my balance is too low, I will need to cancel my food order for this week, because it bills tomorrow as well. So I have to look at my balance, because I just spent almost $200 last night on pain medication for my 2 girls, and that was definitely an unexpected expense. It was late at night, dark, over the fence, with flashlights, very clandestine exchange of, pet pharmaceuticals. Just for anybody that doesn't know, my vet is my neighbor. So when she got home from work last night, I texted her earlier in the day, and she said she'd bring meds home. So she just handed them to me over the fence, and I handed her my debit card, and she ran it through her square. And but yeah, it's the funny things of country life. I think it's just kind of how many people can say they engaged in a pharmaceutical exchange over a fence line by flashlight. But it is what it is, because it's the easiest way, because of where our front doors are placed and where our fences are. It's a long walk from her front door to my front door, and to get to her front door, I can't get to her front door. She has to come out, because she's got a whole herd of dogs, and so me going into their yard is not going to happen. No. So so it's just easier for her to walk through her backyard, and me go out my back door and walk across my backyard and meet at the fence. We do a lot of exchanges over the fence, actually. When I was not working before, and I was, taking care of watering her horses, I would feed her too, because she was working like 17-hour days, because she was one of 2 vets in the clinic, and the other vet had fallen off a truck and broke her arm, so she couldn't do any surgeries. And so my neighbor, my vet, was working lots and lots of hours to be able to keep business going. And so it was like she was going days without even eating, and so because she'd come home and she was too tired to cook, so I would just cook for 3 instead of for 2, and then when she'd get home from work, I'd exchange a plate to her over the fence, or I'd put something in her mailbox, and something that was not heat sensitive, like when I baked cookies for her, I put them in her mailbox, and I just texted her and said, check your mail when you get home. But I really appreciate, that's my way of showing her how much I appreciate her, because she does so many of our vet services free of charge. She pretty much told me anything short of, medications like this one, that are government, like you have to show the government the inventory. Pain medications obviously is going to be one of those things. But medications and surgeries, she's like, I will have to charge you for those. But just, checkups, when Arrow got really sick, and he was vomiting weird stuff and pooping weird stuff. And so I, shot her some pictures, sent them over to her, and I'm like, I'm not sure what's going on here, but I'm no vet, but I know this isn't normal. And that was when she was working for a vet. She wasn't in private practice, but she was driving the mobile truck. And so she rolls up in my driveway with the mobile vet truck, and that was a really cool experience. I don't think Arrow appreciated it, but I thought it was pretty cool, because they have an x-ray machine right there on the truck, and it's like a lifting table. And so I was like, got like a little fair, a little carnival ride. And he was not happy about it. But we clipped his nails and everything while he was up on the table and sedated. But she didn't charge me for the service. She didn't charge me for any of the lab work. And in that case, she didn't even charge me for the medications, because they are, It turned out he had pancreatitis, a really bad case of pancreatitis. So now we have to be careful about what we still give table scraps. All of our girls get table scraps. But we just have to be careful with him, because he can't have anything super fatty. It's kind of like us with a gallbladder. I'm sure pancreatitis in humans probably is the same way. It's like you have to, watch the fat intake. I don't know. I've never researched it. But like when I made bone broth the other day, all the vegetables and the beef bones and everything that came out of it, there was this huge glob of, and it's a glob of just beef fat. And it was in the bowl with all the vegetables, and I'm like, I stuck it down, and I was like, whoa, and he immediately came to it. I'm like, no. I was like, hold on. So I kind of held him back and let Lizzie get in there, and it chomped him as soon as she went straight for the glob of fat, which I was like, yay, because that gives me, Arrow doesn't have to wait so long to be able to get into the goodies, because Lizzie's a pig. She thinks she has to have everything, and she would have eaten the entire bowl if I didn't pull her away from it. Well, not pull her away. I shoot her away, and she, But my dogs are good mannered. I tell them no or stop, and they listen. So, but I let her eat the big old glob of fat, and then some of the vegetables, and then I shoot her away and let Arrow come in and finish the veggies that were in the bowl. Lily doesn't participate in that. She's not a veggie person. Doesn't matter how I cook them. She does not eat veggies. And then of course I took the bones out and gave each of the puppers a bone, which they really loved. And for anybody that doesn't know, if you use bones, like beef bones, I've never tried it with chicken. I will never try it with chicken bones. But beef bones, like if you do just a crock pot for 6 to 8 hours, the bones are still going to be hard. And you're just going to get like the flavor of the beef. But if you pressure cook it for about 4 hours, then it actually breaks down the marrow that's in the beef. And you can do beef bone broth without a pressure cooker, I think. Not positive, because I've always done it at a pressure cooker. But what I do when I'm doing the broth is I do well, I do it all in my pressure cooker because, you know, why not? I have one. But I'll put the beef, the bones, and all the veggies in the water all together, put them under pressure for 2 hours, release the pressure, pull all the vegetables out, but leave the bones and any kind of meat that falls off, any kind of fat that falls off. I pull that all out of the crock pot and leave just the bones in the liquid. And then I reset the pressure cooker and I pressure cook for 3.5 hours. And what that does is it breaks down the collagen that's in the bone, which then infuses. I just realized that she's not home yet. And I parked in her spot. I'm like, oh, whoops. I just like pulled right in like nothing. I know there's a tree back there. I'm still green, I'm good. Whoop. I just want to get straightened out so they can park in their own spot. That was funny. It didn't even dawn on me that their truck wasn't here. But yeah, I pull everything out, put the bones back in, and then I pressure cook it for 3.5 hours. And that breaks down the collagen in the bone, so it releases it into the broth, gives you all the extra benefits of a bone broth versus a beef broth. I'm not up on why bone broth is better. I just know there's a lot more nutrients and blah, 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 blah. Bone broth is better for you than just plain beef broth. But if anybody's interested in knowing the difference, I can definitely look it up and do a video on it. Maybe I'll just do it anyway. I don't know. But what it also does for the bones is it makes them soft. So it's much easier for dogs to eat, especially if you got dogs with dental issues or whatever. They can still have the bone to gnaw on, but it doesn't, it's not so hard on their teeth. But so I'm going to end this for now, because I don't want to sit here and keep rambling on. When we get into the barn and we get to see the baby bunnies, I will film that and upload that. And then we'll chat again on the way home. Bye.